And I asked him the other day, what does he see and what do they see as kind of the biggest obstacle to people responding to Christ and the call of Jesus Christ? So he said, well, it's easy. And I said, what is it? He goes, it's universalism. He said, everybody you talk to, no matter where they are, seems to say, well, if there's a God, what he's concerned about is that you be good and I'm good. Yeah. And so that's the bottom line. That's all you need.
Right.
Where does that come from, would you say, on the one hand? On the other hand, what does the gospel say about that?
Right,
you know?
Right. Well, yeah, universalism, the concept that just about everybody, except maybe a very small number of people, are going to be going to heaven. It's the complete reversal, as Dr. Ralph Martin always says about, of the gospel, where Jesus talks about the wide road that goes to damnation and the narrow road that leads to salvation. So the first problem with universalism is that it's contrary to what Jesus himself said. And over again, I say this at every funeral, as well as in many other settings. Look, be urgent about your salvation, because no one loves you more than Jesus Christ. And yet no one spoke about judgment and hell more than Jesus. Most of the scripture that speaks of this reality really come right from the lips of Jesus. So to argue that somehow it's unloving or unchristlike to talk about hell is again completely contrary to the scriptural tradition. So we've got to get back to it. What it does, this universalism stabs in the heart any sense of urgency about our salvation. And the other aspect of it, that there's a great drama to our life. Our decisions are tending in one direction or another, and people have lost any sense of drama. Sadly, Sister Faustina points out that most of the people that she encountered, in this vision of hell, were those who denied there was a hell. So the idea that, well, let's just all pretend there isn't one, and maybe it'll all be okay in the end. The Lord, Peter, we're hard to save. We're stubborn, we're stiff-necked. I love the way God spoke to Jeremiah. He said, look, Jeremiah, I'm sending you to a people whose necks are iron and whose foreheads are brass. That's me he's talking about.
Right,
I'm hard to save.
Right.
We're stubborn, we're obtuse, we tend to have the wrong priorities, And so the Lord had to come and die terribly on a cross to save us. How urgent he was. Because God, at the end of the day, does respect our freedom.
Yeah.
And he is very serious about that, because he wants lovers, not slaves.
Jesus' death on the cross communicates a different diagnosis of the human condition than most people think about themselves. I mean, I think,
I'm basically a good person.
Yeah.
Well, what's he doing up on that cross?
Right. If we're all such good people, what's he doing there? What's he bleeding and dying for?
Yeah, apparently my condition is more serious than I thought.
Right.
And if you start, though, and this is where I'm basically a good person, is a human way of talking. But if you look to God, God is very holy. And we cannot endure the glorious holiness of God unless he really brings us up to the temperature of glory and makes us holy. And that is hard work, and we resist it.